Lastly, to see how we can do this all entirely in the Plotly package, let's take a look at this code cell down below. So we're going to use our plot_ly function. That's our main function for creating interactive plots in the Plotly package. The first thing we enter is the data, which is in North Carolina. And just know that at this point, we should have added that info variable, that last column info should be now appended to the North Carolina data frame. And the type of graph that we're going to create is going to be a scatter plot. So we're going to use type scatter because it's going to plot a bunch of points that make up the boundary of each county. And then we're going to connect those lines. We're going to join those points by smooth lines as opposed to individual scatter plots. So we're going to use a type scatter, but then we're going to join the points with lines. So that's going to make our map. So now we've got our map, and then I'm going to map the births in 1974 variable. So that gets the tilde before it because it's a variable in the North Carolina data frame. That's going to get mapped to the color attribute. So it's going to shade different colors for the county based on how many births there were in 1974. We're going to create a split. So we're going to use a different color for each different county. So each county is going to be created as a separate trace. And I'm using the info variable to define that split. I could have used like the name variable to define that split to create a different trace for each county. That's really what I want to do. But if I used the name as the split, then that's going to determine what gets displayed when I hover over that county. And because I want to see additional information besides just the name, that's why I chose the info variable as my split variable, because that's going to determine what is displayed when I hover over that county. But this is going to create a different trace layer for each county in the map. I don't want to show the legend, so I'm going to set that to false so that just the color scale used based on the birth rates is displayed. And that's really important. We can see what happens if we don't do that and see what happens if we do that. We're going to set the alpha value to 1 since I want the colors to be shaded totally opaque. I don't want any transparency there. And then the hover info is going to be the text. So the hover info text means that only the split information is going to be displayed there. And then the last thing I need to do is pipe this into the color bar function from the Plotly package. And this is going to change, we're going to change the title of that color bar to BIR 74, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what kind of happens if we don't do that. But let's first do things the right way. And this taking a little bit of time, but there we go. It looks pretty similar to the previous map, but it's slightly different, right? I don't have the latitude and longitudes mapped on the X and the Y axes like I did with the ggplot version of it. But here I get a nice map of North Carolina. It's shaded very similarly to the ggplot map. And when I hover over this, I see like all of the same information. And so if I take out my show legend equals true command, and I also comment out the color bar command, I need to be careful here. I'm going to also need to comment out this pipe over here. So this is taking away the show legend command and the color bar. And let's see what happens when I run this code cell. It took a while to think about producing no output whatsoever. So you can see it's really important why I set things up that way. If I add the show legend and I set that to not true, I want to set that to false. Let's see what happens. We get a map. Okay, so we can see that was really critical to set the show legend to false. Now I've got my map, but it has by default layered this color bar 2 times over. So we can customize that title to whatever we want. I just wanted to say 1 time as opposed to writing it, line break, writing it again. So that's why I customized that color bar. So here I took away the comment to add that pipe back in, and I took away the comment to add that color bar command back in, and that takes away that double label on the color bar. Okay, so that is a wrap for interactive graphics with Plotly. Thanks, everyone.